Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I wanted to show you everything I crocheted in March. So last month I did a whole lot of festival prepping, and so I have a whole bunch of stuff. So I made quite a few things last month, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you everything. I don't remember what order I crocheted everything in, and I also don't have every single plushie right here. So I'm going to put up videos on the screen of the first few things that I made. So I made this bunny. The pattern is by Melly Inspired Crochet, and this was for a pattern test. So I have that, and then I have this bear. The pattern is by Unstable Stitches, and I used Bernat Velvet yarn, I think. And then I have this blue bumblebee. The pattern is by Loops and Knots Crochet. And then I have these princesses. So I have Sleeping Beauty, Belle, Rapunzel, Jasmine, Tinkerbell, and Tiana. So I made all of those. I also made this fuzzy bunny with Feels Like Bliss yarn. It's the same pattern by Melly Inspired Crochet. And then I made this purple dragon for a custom order. I made it with Big Twist Baby Bear yarn. And that's everything that I don't have with me. So now I'm just going to go ahead and show you the rest of it. I'm not sure what to start with because I don't remember what order I made this stuff in, so I'm just going to start with the turtles. I make all of my turtles with Bernat Blanket yarn, and the pattern is by Loops and Knots Crochet. So here's the first one. I think this was the last of this Bernat Blanket yarn, so and these are usually a bestseller for me. People really like these. So I have one with a blue shell, and then I have this one with this pink shell. This was the last of this pink too. And I actually ended up running out of pink before I finished the shell, so around the edge here is actually Sweet Snuggles Light, but I don't think it's too noticeable. And then I have Strawberry Turtles. And I have two of those. I just freehanded the strawberry stem. And then the last two turtles I have are sunflower turtles. So I have this one. This is the same pattern by Loops and Knots Crochet, but I modified it to make the sunflower petals. So this was the first one that I made, and the last round of the shell is usually a round of single crochet in the front loops only. So instead of single crochet, I made the petals in the front loops, and I think I did 2 double crochets in one stitch, and then chain 2, slip stitched in the second stitch, and then did 2 more double crochets in that same stitch, and then I slip stitched 1 and repeated it. And I thought the petals looked a little bit too close together. I still like the way it looks. I decided for the next one I would try to do it with 2 slip stitches in between each petal instead of 1. And that's what this looks like. I like this one much better, so that's what I'm going to be doing next time I make this pattern. So those are all of the turtles. So I'm going to show the tortoises next. So I have this one. The pattern is by Avalon Crochets. This is made in Parfait Chunky. I really love this pattern, and I love that it's completely no-sew. And then I have this one, which is like a more traditional turtle color. I think this one's head is a little bit crooked, but it's super cute. Then I have this penguin. The pattern is by Cozy Friend Creations. I made this for my Mystery Wheel Challenge video. And then I have this Triceratops. This pattern is by Ally Crochet, and I also made this one for the Mystery Wheel Challenge. And then these next 3 things I also made for the Mystery Wheel Challenge. So I made this flower ferret, the pattern is by Wonder Crochet. And this cow, the pattern is by Nook's Hooks. And I completely forgot to add the tail, so I'm going to have to add that later. And then this otter, and the pattern is by Crochet Calls. So next I think I'm going to show the eggplants. This one was for a pattern test for Avalon Crochets. It's actually a pattern for an eggplant pillow, but I used Parfait Chunky instead of Parfait XL, so it ended up being pretty small. And I have 2 more of those. I really like this pattern and I want to make another one, but I think I'm going to wait to see if these sell. But they're super cute. And then this next pattern is also by Avalon Crochets. It's this blueberry cow. I love that his tail has a blueberry on the end of it, and also a little blueberry around his neck. It's so cute. I definitely want to make the strawberry version too. And then I have this little unicorn. This pattern is by Loops and Knots Crochet. I made this one in Parfait Chunky. I think this is the first time I've ever made a unicorn, so I'm excited to see if it sells. And then I have this zebra, and on the day that I'm filming this pattern just released. I believe it's by Jules Crochet Creations, but I'll put it on the screen. I love the hair. And this was in a pattern bundle with a giraffe and a lion, and I just bought those patterns, so I'm going to be making those next. I love the little tail. And for this one I used Big Twist Posh. And then this next one is also a pattern test, and it's for this little fawn snuggler. I think I'm going to be displaying this with my Toby the Turtles, which is also a snuggler pattern by a different creator. But it's around the same size, so I think I'm going to be displaying them together. I really love embroidering eyes. I think they just look so cute. I don't think this pattern will be released by the time you're seeing this video, but it's super cute, so definitely go check it out once it is released. So I think I'm going to show my sharks next. So this shark is by Loops and Knots Crochet, and I wanted to try out some different shark patterns, and I like this one, but I decided that since everything is sewn on, even this piece, I decided that I would have to charge too much for the size. So next time I make this pattern, I think I'm going to be using Sweet Snuggles Light, so it turns out larger, and I feel better about charging more for it. So I just have one of these. And then I tried out another shark pattern that I ended up really liking. So it's this one. The pattern is by Wonder Crochet. It's really quick to make. So I made quite a few of these. I think I'm going to charge the same for this one and the last one that I showed you, just because they're pretty much the same size. I'm just going to make some of this pattern in a larger yarn so that I can charge more for those. But for now, I think I'm going to charge the same amount for both of these. So I have quite a few of these. I have this one and this one. And then I wanted to do some in fun colors, so I made this blue one, which I think is like the perfect shark color. And some of these fins are upside down, and I didn't realize until later. I believe this is how it's supposed to go. And then some of them are upside down. But then I made this purple one. These are all Parfait Chunky. And then the last one that I have is this coral color. I really, really like this one. I really hope these do well at my festival. But I have 5 of those. And next, I think I'll show you my big dragon that I made. This pattern is by Loops and Knots Crochet, and it's her Little Will pattern. But I made it in Big Twist Fluff, I think. And it turned out huge, and I love it so much. So this is Big Twist Fluff. This is like the faux fur yarn from Hobby Lobby. And then this is Parfait Plush. And this is Bernat Blanket. And then for the horns, these are made for her Willow pattern, which is larger. So I ended up making these in Baby Bear yarn since it's quite a bit smaller than the Big Twist Fluff, so that it would be the perfect size for this dragon. And then these are Parfait Chunky, and I just freehanded these mushrooms. These horns are a free tutorial on her YouTube channel. I think the Little Will pattern is too, but the horns are not made for the Little Will pattern. So if you're going to make them for Little Will, you should use a much smaller yarn than you're using for the dragon. But I love the way it turned out. And I'm going to have to charge quite a bit for this because he did take a couple days to make and quite a bit of yarn. So I haven't decided on a price yet, but I really hope he sells because he's just so cool. And I definitely want to make another dragon like this. But I don't want to have 2 at the same time. So once this one sells, I'll probably be making another one. Next, I think I'll show you my chickens. So I have quite a few chickens. This pattern is also by Loops and Knots Crochet. I think her patterns are really great for market prepping. But I have this one. I have 2 of these. And I wanted to make some blue chickens because of Stardew Valley. I know that game is really popular. And so I wanted to make some blue chickens. So I have those 2. And then I have 3 other blue chickens made with this floral yarn. They're so cute. So those are all of my blue chickens. And then these next 2 are with this pink floral yarn. And then I have this, well, these have a little bit of blue on them, but this is floral yarn too. I think the floral chickens look super cute. And then I have these. Most of these are made with Sweet Snuggles Light or Premier Bloom Chenille, I think. But this one is a yarn from Hobby Lobby that's really stiff, and I don't really love crocheting with it. But I made 2 of these because I thought they looked super cute. That was the last of this yarn, so I'm glad I used it up. And I decided to size up on the hook, and it hurt my hands a lot less. So I may end up buying this yarn again just because I really like the color. And it is really soft. I know I have 2 of these yellow chickens, but I don't see the other one over here. Oh, it was under an axolotl. So I have 2 of those. Those are the last floral chickens. And then the rest of them are like more natural colored chickens. So I have 1 of these because I didn't have enough of this yarn to make another one. And I think this one's Chenille Home Slim. Unfortunately, I can't get this yarn anymore. This yarn is discontinued, and I think it's a great chicken color. And this one is also Chenille Home Slim, and I love this one. This one's my favorite chicken, but I only had enough for one. Next time I want to make a chicken that looks like this, I may have to use this Big Twist fluff yarn back here. It's a lot thicker than Chenille Home Slim or Sweet Snuggles Light, so the chicken would be a bigger, but I really like this color for a chicken. And then these last three are all the same color, and I think this is Chenille Home Slim too. This is also a perfect chicken color. I think I have a little bit of this left, but they're super cute. I really, really like this color. So those are all of the chickens, and all I have left are axolotls and foxes. So I think I'll show the foxes first. This pattern is by Nooks Hooks. It's her little sleeping fox pattern, and it's also a little phone holder. So I think I'm going to advertise it as a phone holder on the table because people might want to buy it more if it's not just like a decoration, like if you can actually use it. So I have this one. I made all of these in Parfait Chunky. I have this one. I think this one is tangerine. This one is mango, I think. And then I have carrot. I really, really love this orange. And then I'm pretty sure this is rust. It's either rust or harvest. It didn't have the label on it anymore, but it's one of those. And then I made a gray fox. This is seal, and for this one I used cream. And then I made one with almond butter, and I also used cream for this one. Those are super cute, and I'm definitely going to be making more of those. So all I have left are axolotls, and I have 3 of each color except for this one because I made 2 of these last month or the month before, but I have 2 of these in the closet, and then I made this one in March, but I do have 3 of them. I just only made 1 in March. So this pattern is by Loops and Knots Crochet, and this one has smaller eyes than the rest of them because I used 12 millimeters, and then later I decided that I wanted to use 14 millimeter for the rest of them. So there's the blue one. These are all made with Big Twist Baby Bear. And then I have the yellow, and I have 3 of those. These 2 are kind of strange looking. Their heads look very big compared to this one because I used a different skein that was a lot more stiff, but I have 3 of the yellow and then 3 pink. This one is the only one that's not made with Baby Bear yarn. The body is Baby Bear and the gills are Parfait Chunky because Baby Bear does not have a dark pink. But I have 3 pink axolotls. And then I think these might be my favorites. I have 3 orange. And then I have 3 green. And finally, 3 purple. So that's everything I crocheted in March. That's a whole lot of plushies for 1 month, but I've been doing a whole lot of festival prepping. And if you want to see me make all of these plushies, make sure you check out my festival vlog that I posted last week. And I show them in a little bit more detail. And I talk a lot more about all of these plushies. So definitely make sure you go check that video out. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you made it to the end, comment a fox emoji. And make sure to let me know what types of videos you would like to see in the future. I am in the middle of filming another market vlog, so that'll come out in probably 2 weeks. So definitely stay tuned for that. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!